Good evening, Booze. Sorry that I'm late. I am having some technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on with my lights. For some reason, they look way brighter than they typically do. Either that or I'm going, well, no, I wouldn't be going blind, would I? But anyway, yes, I am an overachiever. I don't know. I don't have I yeah, I guess I am being an over. I am not comfortable. I'm thought I had everything ready to go tonight, you guys. Now I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants, but I am ready. I am prepared. I do have some stuff to show you, and, you're not gonna believe what day it is today. Can anybody guess what national day it is? I won't. I won't make you guys wait too long. It is this is the best day of the year, or at least right now. So far this year, it's the best day of the year. It is, I just released my own fragrance. Happy National Happy National Fart Day. I don't know why. This has brought me so much joy. When I found it this morning, I was like, "I love it. I love it." And I had some broccoli yesterday. So Mia B, yeah, this tracks for me today too, without giving out too much information. So, yeah. And look how happy she is. Oh, the 50s housewife or yeah, 50s, right? Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Um, I'm just gonna get started because it's just been one of those days, y'all. Yep, I'm gonna pop in. Mia was first today. Do you want a point for Mia should get a point for it? No, I'm just kidding. These are just for your this is just see what's I think it's me. Here, I gotta move my hopefully I don't move my I've already knocked my laptop off twice. That's not good. Usually I only knock it off once. So there we go. Mia B's first. Overachiever. Yes, that's me. If my mom heard that though, God, she'd be so proud now. Because I never used to be an overachiever. I'm just getting finicky in my yeah, in my old age, my dotage. Yeah, dotage, right? Is that how I say? I can say that word, right? Jeez. The words I choose to say properly properly. See? Hello, Darlene. Hi, love. Uh, I gotta think of some kitty cat content. Maybe Miss Tansy will come back and watch the stream too, but she hasn't watched. She's mad at me right now. So, oh, Mia B's the over. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. She is. She's the spreadsheet hoe. She's all up in those sheets. She probably have you gotten yourself disentangled from those sheets yet, Mia B? I don't. I can't do spreadsheets. Yeah, it's too much. I can't math either. I can't math or math. Both of them are bad for me. Um, does every am I balanced? Can you guys see me? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me? What's that from? Oh, I didn't get the quote right anyway, but it is from Harry Potter. I've only watched there's a handful of movies that I've watched repeatedly, and those are Harry Potter movies, Titanic. There's a couple other ones, but yeah, that's where most of my quotes come from. It's like, "That tracks, yeah." Ugh, beans will kill you guys. They will. Um, they're the delicious fruit, right? Where you eat. Holy crap, you guys are way, way, way ahead of me already. I didn't think I was that far. Oh my god, I'm already behind. Sorry, guys. Everybody's yo. What's the yo now? Did Traveling Fools start something over here now? TF. I have to talk to him now. Where I talked to TF last night because I had a lot of fun doing the ghost game that we did on Sunday, and he does trivia over on his channel on Sunday nights, and I asked how hard it was because I don't wanna learn anything too new that because I got my hands full, guys. I mean, this is a job. I thought it was gonna be a lot of fun, and it is fun, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of work too. This is not like, this is my hobby is riding my horses. This is not a hobby. This is an undertaking having a channel. Well, I mean, to have a channel that you want to, like, provide content for people. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I said that right. I'm getting a little tired. I only got like an hour colonial today after only a few hours sleep last night, so I'm gonna try to hang in there for you guys today. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be a little. The squirrels are gonna get loose in the chat, I think. Uh oh. And the first yawn of the night. Oh my goodness. Give her oh, Clips is like yeah, Clips is like, "Give her a point, I'm already so far ahead. Ugh, she's not gonna catch up with me." Anyway, so I talked to, uh, TF, and he said that we could probably he could show me how to use the software that he uses. So if you guys are really, like, serious, like, because you guys were competitive, like, kinda scary competitive. So, I thought, like, maybe not every Sunday, but, like, every other Sunday or maybe we'll do, like, a Saturday night stream because God knows I don't got nothing going on Saturday, Friday or Saturday night. So, like, we'll just have, like, a game night that's themed around ghost stuff? I don't know. Or death stuff. Ghosts, dead I don't know, cemeteries, horror movies, I don't know, we can think of it. But let me know what you guys think because we I don't wanna go out and learn some kinda I don't know, the word software frightens me. The word application kind of frightens me because it's taken me, I don't know, what, almost a year to learn StreamYard, so just remember that. So if you guys are serious, I'll get serious about it because it's fun, and we could do a lot of cool like, I could do some giveaways or something. I'm sure there's stuff, um that we can figure I can figure out something for you guys, yeah, so it's at least some fun, but it seems like you guys like bragging rights are, that was fueling you guys uh, pretty hard on Sunday night, and hello, Rubicon, Ruby's out running errands, and thank you for listening, Ruby, while you're out running your errands, I hope I keep you motivated, I need to keep motivated here too, so hello, Jen. Let's see, you guys laughing at me. So here we go. Is it the spreadsheets? Is that so yeah, spreadsheets oh, is good. But I know you like your spreadsheets, so, um, anytime I've ever had to you had a job that we had to go and use, like, sheets or something for I was like, "Oh god, I don't like this," but, I like the old-fashioned way of, like, logging drugs and stuff in a book, like a hard book. That's what I like. I know, I'm old. And Darlene says she's always mad at you. Shame on you. I know. Trying to teach my little demon cat manners, and she's mad at me. And but she should actually I think she's tired out now because I stripped the bed and put new sheets. Pardon me. I put new sheets and stuff on the bed, and that's her favorite time. Like she's like diving in the sheets and like she's getting in the pillowcases. Like she was having a good old time, and it was actually really it's so stinking cute. So now yeah, she's sleeping on her little black cat, her little stuffed animal, Salem, that we got from Salem. It was, Little Drummer Boy's his little stuffed animal, and now it's hers. And she's been sleeping though with that since I brought her home. It's the cutest thing. She will beat the crap out of it too, so that's not so cute, but and Mia says, "Now it's putting numbers into memos that need to be updated time." Oh gosh, I'm sorry. But hey, better you than me. You're good at that job. This is what I don't the technical part of my job, I get through it the best I can. And then I go for the nursing side. The technical side I don't like as much. Um and yeah, yeah, math and data Ugh. Yeah, I don't have to do all that stuff all day long. Damn, sometimes I've had a couple of those jobs and I didn't like them. So that's why I like being a vet tech because there's not too much of it. Not too much. All right. And hello, Christine. Welcome. I like the little smiley face. Look at that little happy face. It's so cute. Oh goodness. Yeah. Broccoli is roughage. And we know what roughage does. It's this right here is this. And once again, I have 2 streams going, so I have the vertical and then I have the horizontal. So if you wanna lay down you can be in one stream, and if you wanna stand up, you can be in the other. But I think you can only see one chat or the other, so, but it did seem to work for whatever reason, um the views were up there, so, I think we'll stick with it because I think, YouTube is really I think they're gonna be pushing this vertical one a little bit, so if that helps me out, I'll take what I can get. So if you guys don't mind it, unless you guys, start rioting or something, then we'll change it back. I'll just go horizontal. I'll just lay down. Just lay down and do my stream. Wait, no, oh, God, why do I do this? I just start right out with putting my foot in my mouth every time. I hope you're doing good too, Jen. Oh, Jen, I was thinking of you too. We have to get together and talk about some Civil War stuff because I watched a really cool video the other day and you would love it. Unless you probably have already seen it. So, and Christine TF is awesome. He's starting stuff over here in my chat because now everybody's coming and going, yo. I'm like, It's supposed to be boo, you guys. Come on, boo. Oh, goodness. High equal, and it's not chillaxed yet, but the intent is there. We can be chillaxed and be booze? No? Oh gosh, you guys. I'm gonna have to change it. I love that you mixed in folklore, movies, history. It was such a fun game. Yeah, so if you guys really liked it, I think I'd like to do it. TF said he would help out. So I'm I kinda got a little bit excited about it because I thought, "Hey, that would be something fun to just kinda," not I don't wanna do it every week because God, that's a lot of questions I have to, like, figure out and stuff, and I think I only asked you guys, like, 15, 16 questions, something like that, and those took a little while to find, yeah, and to think up, so but, yeah, maybe I'll hire somebody to just somebody that'll work for free. Oh my goodness, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna slouch today. Yeah, it's almost the weekend, guys. Almost there. Yay! And Mia, I do love a good spreadsheet. I do love a new set of sheets. I bought some new ones and they're uber soft and so comfy and I just love them. Oh, maybe it's something in the air then right now, Mia B. Maybe the yeah, because mine's ignoring me. Miss America's ignoring you. Is Sissy ignoring you? I know she likes to sit on your head and watch me. So that was so cute. Darlene sent a pic in the Discord. It was so cute. Here's Sissy, like, up behind Darlene's head. She's just like, "Move, get your head out of the way." It was so cute. It's just so and Jen was stuck in an alternate universe or vertical world. Were you over in the other one? Sorry about that. Um, if you guys maybe just pick like, if you guys just wanna hang out in the horizontal one, all you old timers, maybe you could I don't know. I don't know how hard it is. It shows up both of them show up for me, so, I hope I'm not making things difficult, but YouTube has to be difficult. It just has to be. Just as soon as I think I've figured some stuff out, I don't. I don't have it figured out, so I have to get my caffeine in me. Oh my god, or I'm not gonna stay awake. Does Miss America like cold weather? Um My Florida doggo despises it as much as the people here do. I feel bad for you guys that it's been cold down there. I mean, at least up here, we're kinda I mean, it's winter. We know it's gonna snow. Um, but I feel bad for you. I really do feel bad for you guys. I would rather you all be warm and happy than cold and miserable like me. I should be the only one allowed to be miserable right now. And I'm not and look at me, I'm not even that miserable. When I get to come on here and hang out with you guys, I feel so much better. You guys do stimulate me, and I'm not even being perverted when I say that. I mean, just genuinely, it's fun to come up here and chat with you guys and share some fun stories. And I did. I tried not to find. 2 sad ones. I included some guess you ca I'm including some love tonight. So can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel the love yet tonight? Probably not, I know, because my cold little dark heart, it's hard to get it, I know, but I'm gonna try, and these stories are I'm gonna thank there's 2 of you guys that sent me bits for tonight's episode, so I'm gonna shout you out. Rubicon sent me one of them, and that's the first one. Yeah, that's the first one I'm gonna play. I think that's what I got lined up first. And then Ernie sent me the other one. So and that'll be the last one I think I'm gonna play. And then I've got some filler stuff in there in the middle. I don't think any of them are terribly sad, so we'll have a good time. No no ghost game though tonight, but, maybe Sunday night. Maybe Sunday night because I gotta get you guys gotta get some more points because when I go to New Orleans, I'm gonna get something cool, and that'll be the prize. So, be prepared, and it will be cool. I will get you guys something. It'll be amazing, trust me. I'm a good shopper, especially when, I'm on vacation and I'm not thinking about, like, eating once I get home. So, usually then I'm like, "Yeah, I'll buy that." Yeah, and then I get home and I'm like, "Ah, damn it, I'm eating fricking Special K for every meal of the day for the next month." Yeah. Equal says, "Hi, everybody all around." Oh, I like booyah. How about booyah? Booyah? No, that doesn't work. Okay. Booyah. Booyah. I like that. All right, Ernie, you can just listen along, but I'm gonna talk, the one that you the graves that you sent me, I think it was just last week. I'm gonna play them at the end. So those are the ones you sent me, so just so you know. Um, and Morg, hello, Captain, Colonel. Oh my god, Captain. Jeez, I just wait, that's a downgrade. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, Colonel, vertical is great, tends to cause random weirdos to show up. Yeah. Yeah. So Morg is here. I'm kidding. Morg, you're one of the weirdos that we love and accept because I'm a weirdo too. So we're good. And I don't know how we don't attract more weirdos because I should have a crown or something. Oh, that'll be the prize. Maybe I'll find a voodoo crown or something I can in, New Orleans. Look, yeah, I see squirrels. They're real. Alright, guys, I'm going down down the chat list here. Just have ooh, clips I like I'm gonna start that. Just have everyone submit 1 question, and they can't answer their own. I like it. So you guys will have to come over on Sunday night and see T at Traveling Fools. He does trivia on Sunday nights over on his channel and see how they do it. And it's really cool. Because if you guys want to get competitive, is like I'm pretty relaxed. I'm pretty liberal with the points. I'll be just like, nah, here, go ahead, have one. I was just giving out half plates for whatever. Um, but which I probably still will anyway, because hey, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want. It's probably the only place. Well, no, I can't do everything I want here either, because YouTube tells me what to do. And if I don't listen to you guys, you won't come here, and then I'll just be sitting here picking my nose or yeah, just talking to myself for like 3, 4 hours. That's not fun. I already do that. So oh, so Sissy's good. She's good for right now. Well, okay. Well, I have to say, Tansy is being very sweet. She's sleeping. So, yeah. I got the treats. You know what? I think my cats they know the Chewy order came today. Yep. They know the Chewy order came and a big bag of the Temptations came and I did not open it and they were following me around the house, all of them. And I'm like, so after this, I gotta go give them all treats. Hello, girl Ryan, not to be confused with Guy Ryan, because he's a he's kind of a bit of a turd, isn't he? And if you know, you know. I'm not gonna get into that drama because I don't want Taylor Swift coming for me, trying to get a channel up. Like she's gonna give a shit about me. Pre-Valentine Day ghosting. Oh, Valentine is it? It's almost that time, isn't it? Yeah, let's talk some love then because ugh. Alright. Semi-regular. Yeah, you know what? I No, I'm not. I'm just straight up weirdo. I'm just yeah, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that anymore. I'm letting my freak flag fly. My weirdness is shining through. I'm embracing it. It's time. It's just time. Uh, Everybody else, if you guys wanna let it hang out here I mean, your weirdness, let your weirdness hang out, do so. Keep everything else contained within reason. I mean, yeah, shirts, shoes are required. Wait, did I shirts and shoes and pants too, pants. And Christine knows. She knows about TF Sunday Night Drive. Every Sunday night, yeah, and it's fun. So maybe Sunday night after my stream out, we'll, like, go crash over there and check it out 'cause, I haven't played yet, I just listen along, and I get a few of them right, just a few of 'em. So, I don't know how good I'll do, but, I know how competitive some of y'all get, so it's gonna get yeah, it could get real. It could get real interesting over there. Um, oh, you come here, so I gotcha, Mark, okay. But embrace your weirdness, yeah. Like, we need encouragement, I know, I don't need to encourage any of you guys, but I love you. Clips and it's if we're all weird, then consider that normal. This is the most normal play honestly, guys, I forgot how weird it was, like, out in YouTube. Like, I went out there and was, like, just catching up on some stuff, right? Like, I get so focused on, like, putting my shorts out not my short like, video shorts, right? But I forget to go to see other streams, right? Like, I have 2 that I go to all the time, and that's about it. So, I was checking other stuff out, and I was like, "Oh god, no, I'm gonna go back." I'm back here, and I'm gonna stay over here. It's scary it's scary out there. It really is. It's like a free for all. Stay over here. Let's stay safe. Let's talk about some dead stuff. The weirdness extreme or autistic. Hey, you could be I'm a little ADHD or I'm a lot ADHD. So hey, it takes all kinds. So we're good. You're in good company here, Morg. Um um yeah, Nathan, you let your freak flag fly, or was that your melons the other night? Yeah, yeah, you guys have to pop over and and see that. Yeah, I was clipping like a fool on that Friday night stream, it was so much fun, though. Oh my gosh, you guys if you guys haven't subbed up yet, you have to. It was hilarious here. I think I can dump the when I say dump, I'm gonna practice my, skills here. I don't have skills, but here, I'm gonna try anyway. Bum, 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 and then you guys can go check out the last stream, it was so oh my goodness, uh-oh. Ah, dang it. Now I gotta open another window. Oh, this happens every time. See, every time I think I've got this stuff mastered. Alright. Alright. Oh, I think I'm breaking StreamYard. Here we go. Alright. I'll throw this up. Which one do I wanna throw it in? Alright, here we go. Pardon Alright. Yeah, I think I'm breaking my stream here, guys. Hang on. Alright, here we go. There we go. There you guys go. Hopefully that worked. Alright, there we go. Now I'm gonna come back. Now we're gonna get started. Yeah, I think I broke it. Alright. So let's go down. Who, me? Competitive ADHD. Mine's worse than y'all's. It is. I'm pretty sure I passed it on to my kid too, poor guy. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna go down, but yeah, you guys have to go check out Old Man Built. You gotta check out you gotta check out his melons and his little tiny grapes too. Um, yeah, I'll put a link, but not right now because it'll take me 10 minutes. And let's get started. Let's get started on some stuff. I'm gonna take the farts off, um, and I'm gonna add. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want to put up here. Hang on. Well, you can look at her for a sec, or what you can. He's looking at her. You guys can look at her. But I'll talk about that uh, cemetery memorial here in just a second. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about this one. I don't want it to wait. Wait. Oh yeah. All right. Good. I hate Streamyard. I mean, I love Streamyard, but I hate it. All right. So I'm going to leave that up there for a second, and then I'm going to tell you guys the story. Let me go down. Oh, did you guys catch the whip clip? I'm very proud of that one. I think that's my best one, and it didn't get the views I thought it was. I'm like, "Damn, I pull out the whips and nothing." It's like crickets out there, but I never know what YouTube's gonna like. So yeah, it's always a good time, you guys. Oh my god, you guys is priceless. Oh my gosh, I love Fallout. I gotta catch up on the last couple episodes because I am totally behind on Fallout. I love it. Oh my god, it's like my favorite show right now. Let's see. I just made 24 ounces of chamomile tea because I'm a glutton for this. I'm alternating between just my water and my Diet Coke because I am trying to stay awake for you guys tonight. Um, you guys like it? Oh my god, I had so much fun making that one too because the little guy. Oh my god, that was so much fun. I'm getting better. I'm getting better, guys. Your Latin name. Oh, all right, here we go. So, I'm gonna tell you a little story, and then I'm gonna show you a news clip. Yeah, it only took me an hour. No, it only took me 28 minutes to get to where I am. All right, here we go. Um, bum, bum, bum. So, I'm gonna tell you sit right there. I don't know why I wanna sing the Beverly Hillbillies tonight. So, right now, I'm gonna go to Colorado because you guys know how I like to take you on little trips around the country, around the world, or at least I'm gonna try to take you on some trips around the world a little bit more. I know you guys are getting kind of bored with all my Scotland talk, right? So we're gonna do let's get out some other places. So this one, Rubicon sent me this news clip. I think it was just last week, or maybe it was just the week before. I lose track of my days a lot. But so this is out of a town in Lafayette, Colorado, and this is over a burial dispute. This is kind of right up our alley. This is like some of the stuff that we've been talking about, like what what can they do? Like what rights do you have uh when it comes to having been buried? Like these are things that we've been digging into, pun intended. So Lafayette Cemetery in Colorado, they're having currently having a dispute with the Smith Sosa family, and they primarily over Grandpa Smith, his name is Fred, and he passed away earlier this January. And unfortunately, when Fred passed away, they made a little bit. Unfortunately, at the time he passed away, they made a discovery that they weren't going to be able to bury him where he had planned to be buried. So Fred's dying wish was to be buried next to his wife, Norma Lee, and she had passed away a few years before him. And way back in like 1983, the couple they had bought in advance, they purchased side by side burial plots at Lafayette Cemetery. They paid $11,000 for a headstone. That's a lot of dough. both of their names are engraved on it. Hers has both her right, her birth date, her pass away date, and then Fred's is just listed with his birth date. So, there's no date for his death date yet. Unfortunately, Fred can't now he can't be buried next to his wife. Even though they purchased this plot back in 1983 and his wife was buried there, shoot, I know I wrote it here, in 2018, I think his wife passed away, and the city of Lafayette is telling the family because Fred's deceased, so Fred has no idea what's going on. He can't be buried there at all. And the family only has about this article came out on January 26th, and they have 20 days from that date to figure out an alternate burial plan because the mortuary can only hold him, like, his actual remains for that long because he's being buried, not cremated. So, they can't keep him indefinitely, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, but he's gotta go somehow. So they're having this huge issue with him right now. And back in 2019, the city went to dig uh when they went to let's see. The city discovered an unplowed plotted human they Ugh. All right, hang on. Let me get my there we go. The burial plot that Fred had originally selected and he and his wife had purchased when Norma Lee had passed away, they discovered that there were already human remains in part of that plot. So, because of that, they had to put Norma into another area of the cemetery. So, the original plot was already changed once because when they went to bury Norma Jean, there were remains. So they just picked a different spot, all seemed to be good. And Fred was fine at the time that this happened because as long as he's buried next to his wife, he didn't really it didn't matter to him. They were on one side of the cemetery or on the other side of the cemetery. So the plots were remapped out, the city approved all of this. And then Norma was buried. And then shortly after Norma was buried, the city placed a hold on all casket burials at Lafayette Cemetery because they had found out that when they had dug that original plot that Fred and Norma had purchased when they found the remains in there, well, they found out that this wasn't the only unrecorded burial in the cemetery. There were lots of them, decades and decades old. So, somehow records were lost or people got buried and nobody knew about it, sort of situation. So, that was it. They just decided, "Hey, we don't know who's buried where anymore. It's not safe. I mean, we're gonna be disturbing people that are already interred. We can't there's just no more room here anymore." So, everything is the only thing that can go in there, so no casket burials, but they could put, like, cremains, things that are already in, like, if they already have a vault, they could put some cremains in there, things of that nature. But otherwise, yeah. So Fred is, he wasn't informed, or the family says Fred was not, uh, informed at the time, which would seems to me would have been a very good time to tell him, like, when they'd already moved him and his wife to a different side of the cemetery. he'd got an $11,000 headstone and paid to, right? And interred his wife, and then they didn't tell him. And supposedly they did tell him, but, I'm a little suspicious of it because, like, when was he gonna find out? They probably were just kinda like, oops, we forgot to tell Fred." But however it worked out, Fred is now passed away. So poor grandpa, right? Like, his last wish, he's thinking, "I'm passing away, I'm gonna be next to my wife," right? We're together again. But sadly, Fred is still resting at the mortuary, and no sign in sight yet, because I just double checked this morning and there's still no resolution. So Fred is still on hold. Hello, Megan. I just saw you pop in there real. Um, so now the city has said, okay, so the city said, okay, this is we can fix this. We can we'll pay to have Fred buried in a different cemetery because this one's closed off. That's it. There's just no more caskets going in the cemetery. Or if they don't want Fred to be buried in another cemetery by himself, they will also disinter Norma's remains, and they will rebury both of them somewhere else. Now the family is having some concerns over this because, all right, so they have an $11,000 headstone. Who's moving that? Who's paying to have that move? Those suckers are, you'll see it in the video I'm gonna show you. It's huge. It weighs a lot. And also, who had the burden of, like, is the burden of proof on the family? Like, how do I phrase this? Is the burden of proof on the cemetery, the city? Should they have done a better job of letting, say, Fred, like, when his wife passed away and they buried her and they moved plots? Should they not have maybe informed him then that he would not, like, "Hey, we know we just put your wife here, but, yeah, we can't put you here now," because that seems like that would have raised a little bit of a stink with Fred. Because I think if Fred was alive still and had found that, he probably would have had a little dust up over it. But I don't know, maybe he's a little nicer than I am. But and so we go down. Now the family, obviously, they're pretty pissed off. Very confused, like, they weren't told about this. The city doesn't decide to inform them until after Fred has passed away, and they're pretty sad because they can't their grieving process, right, is just completely screwed up. Because instead of just mourning for grandpa and their dad, um, here they are trying to figure out, like, what the hell do we do? Do we dig up grandma and our mother and disturb her resting place, move her across the city into another, yet different location than where mind you, Fred and Norma had picked out the original spot together. Then she passes away, and then Fred accepts the other plot because, okay, he didn't care because he's next to Norma. But now both of them are dead, and neither of them have a say where they're going. So now it falls on their family. The burden of it falls on their family. And Fred and Norma did what probably a lot of our parents and our grandparents have done in the past. They took care of these things. My grandparents have had theirs for years and years in the family. So it's supposed to be beneficial to your family so that they know when you pass away, look, they know where you want to go, right next to grandma or mom or whoever, right? Like, this stuff is all mapped out for a reason, so your family's not worrying about this when you pass away. But now here's this family. So the article or the story that I'm gonna show you is from Fox 31 in Colorado, and they're gonna tell you that this is not an isolated incident either. So it's not just Fred Smith's family. Apparently, there's another family back in November that reported having a similar problem where this has been an ongoing issue with the cemetery not having proper records, whether they were lost or were uh, never recorded in the first place. They've went to dig graves in the past and found remains, so it sounds like there's just not been properly managed, this cemetery. I forgot to look up to see how old it was. I probably should have done that, but, maybe the news story says how old it is, but, um, so gonna pop down. I do have an update, but I will play the video first. Hop over here, then I'll make this go like this. I really need to get I'm gonna just get YouTube where I don't have to watch,
Granger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to help you pack, store, and ship everything.
Well, first up here at 7:30.
oops. Hey, wanted? Hang on, guys. That's the farce. How did I get on there? Bear with me, guys. I don't know. I keep hitting the button, you guys. All right. There we go.
Well, first up here at 7:30, a family in Lafayette says that they are running out of time as they try to figure out where to bury their grandfather.
They say the city is now telling them he cannot be buried next to his wife despite burial plans that were made years ago. Channel 2's Vicente Arenas has the latest.
This family you're about to meet has 20 days to figure out what to do with their grandfather, where to bury him. His dying wish was to be buried in this cemetery next to his wife. If you drive to the Lafayette Cemetery, you might see the headstone for Fred and Norma Lee Smith. Norma Lee was buried here, but the family of Fred tells us the city has told them that he cannot be buried next to his wife.
The emotions, immediately there's anger, there's confusion, and then it moves into sadness that his last wishes won't be granted. But hopefully it will be granted. And it's just a sad moment right now.
The family says this all started in 2019 when they were told bones and remains had been discovered in a plot Fred Smith had selected. They say that plot was originally purchased in 1983. Because of the remains, the family says burial plans had to change. Norma Smith was then buried in a new location. The family says the plots were mapped out and approved by the city. The family says an $11,000 headstone was purchased and placed there with Fred's name already etched in stone.
So they moved him to the road area, and he said, as long as I can be with my wife and be laid to rest with her, I'm fine with moving. And now they're telling us that now that my mom's in the ground, that they want to separate him. So, yeah, tough. I'm sorry.
We first reported on a similar problem with another family at this cemetery in November of last year. Back then, the city of Lafayette told Fox 31 it had put a moratorium on casket burials. That was after crews found unplotted human remains from burials decades ago in the cemetery. The family tells us the city has offered to bury Fred Smith in a cemetery miles away and disinter his wife and rebury her next to him. They say that proposal raises other questions about what would happen to this headstone already in place. The family says they never received information that a moratorium had been put in place.
Right now, we should be able to grieve and be, reminiscing about some of the good memories that we have with him and celebrating his life. And we're caught in a loophole of just really wanting answers and getting some resolutions so we can put them and honor their last wishes.
The family says Fred Smith's body is currently being held at a mortuary and cannot remain there indefinitely. They say time is running out as they wait for answers. Fox 31 has reached out to the city of Lafayette for a statement regarding the Smiths family's situation. This family hoping for a resolution to this problem soon. They're planning a celebration of life ceremony for him next month. In Lafayette, Vicente Arenas, 2 Prime News.
All right. I'm gonna take off the fart and ghost hunters there. I think I was gonna play that and then I forgot. Um, but maybe I'll play it at the end since it is. Uh, yeah. But so 1891. So that cemetery has been there a long time. So it doesn't shock me that um they have unknown burials that have occurred there, or that some records have been lost over the years. It's not shocking at all. I know our own local cemetery, trying to think, like 1880 something, I think is when the first person was buried down there, and I know on occasion they've gone to dig, put a vault in, and they have come across somebody that isn't supposed to be where they are. So it does happen, especially an older cemetery, just because uh, it just happens. Records do get lost, especially paper records. If I don't know how many of you guys do like find a grave and go out to look for graves and go to different cemeteries and ask for their records, and some of them can be dicey, very dicey, especially these little towns and little tiny cemeteries where probably the people who are like the caretakers for the records, it just kind of gets maybe passed down in a family, like from one family member to the next that's taking care of the records. So it does happen. Records get lost, fires happen, floods happen, things like that. But human error is, I mean, it is one of the biggest reasons records go missing. Whether they're not taken care of in the first place, but I mean, I've also heard of places having unknown burials because they back in the day people couldn't afford. I discussed this when we were talking about the cemetery, the first one there in LA, that people couldn't afford the price for the burial, so they would wait till dark, sneak in, bury their loved one, and then adios. So they just wanted to make sure their loved one was buried in consecrated ground. That was very important to them. So, yeah, and then they would find, years later when they go to move a cemetery, they're like, who are all these unknown remains?" So that maybe that's the situation here too at this cemetery, but it sounds like there's probably a lot of things going on, especially if it keeps occurring. But the fact is that I think it is the city's responsibility to make sure if people have purchased plots there, uh, I mean, it looks like the family did their job. They have the chalk outline there on the grass where the 2 caskets are supposed to be able to go side by side in the ground. Um, so there's I see where the family like, I think the city's like, "Well, we're offering to disinter her and move her and pay for them to be buried someplace else," which is the least that they could do, I think. However, the family, right, this is something that they should not have to be dealing with at all. And I think reasonably, if unless there is some reason that they've discovered that there's somebody else already buried on Fred's side next to his wife, they should just go ahead and I don't care what memorandum that they have put out there, they probably should just let him go there. Seems like it would probably be maybe just a little bit cheaper and it would save the family a whole lot of heartache. I mean, this just sounds like some bureaucratic bullshit to me. Like let's dig his poor I mean, see that photo of the 2 of them together? Let me pop it back up here. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go back.
For zero, I can give my customers more ways to pay.
Now it wants me to watch it, the Ghost Hunters again. It really wants me to play that video for you guys. Hang on. Someday
First
I'll
up here
get
at
good at this,
7:30,
but it probably won't be anytime too soon. I just get it where it shows their headstone.
Stone was
Hang
purchased
on.
and placed there with
Oop, oop.
Fred's name.
Okay, come on. Just show me. All right. Let me pop it back up here. I'm gonna keep clearing my voice. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna show this. Share that. All right. Can you guys see it now? No, it's not there yet. Where it is. There it is. Okay. Well, there's Fred. I love that his name is Fearless too. I just these two are so cute. All right. I'm gonna mute it. I'm gonna let it play through till it shows the whole right there. All right. I don't know why my captions are on. But I mean, look how freaking cute they are, these two. All right, let me go. I'm gonna look at your guys' comments. Sorry, I ignored you guys for too long. So they have 2 plots, one on either side, or 2, yeah. So this is 1 plot with 2 or 2 caskets. So 2 vaults should be able to go there. And theoretically, clips, they could put a double vault in where Norma already is. Uh, they could remove her. They could put a double because they make them double deep where you could put 2 caskets in the same vault. They could do something like that, but the city said no more casket burials. So apparently they're staying very firm on this. Seems kind of that words. Imagining having to make these decisions after your family member has died. Your grandpa, your dad, that poor her, the daughter, right? Like I can't imagine. Like we knew where my mom was going, and it was hard enough just to pick out a casket. And uh, I think it was like maybe a week or so had gone by, and then we went and looked at a headstone. Only because my family I got a family discount because one of my family members works for a monument company. So, but I can't imagine the sudden, your dad's passed away and now it's time to like you go down to the funeral home and they're like, okay, where is he going? Because those are the questions. They're like, where where is he going? Right. And then they tell you, and then they probably the funeral home, I'm gonna assume probably contacted the city, and then the city was like, oh no, he can't go here. And then what do you do? Yeah, and how am I live at 2 times? I'm magic, Megan. See, Meg, I know you've been sick, Meg, but, now that you're back, I'm in 2 universes, but I hope you're feeling better, by the way, too. Yeah, one YouTube's letting us do this, one vertical, one horizontal, so we'll see. I'm playing with it. I know. It's hopefully not too horrible for you guys. Yeah, this company needs to call Megan and Megan as soon as she's better. They need to call her stat, get her out. Hey, you know what? I've got Megan on retainer. Megan, you can let them use some of that my retainer money for them because I'm sure they're probably already lawyered up. I would be because this is some bullshit. But and Jen says, "Yeah, that's just bad freaking business. Act first, apologize later." Yeah, wait for him to die and then say something to the family. My thought is you pass this memorandum, right? Is that what they call I think that's what they called it. you should know who has plots that are still open, right? Like, still open plots, like, for them to be buried in. You should be able to reach out to those people and those families and let them know and make personal contact with them and say, "Hey, odds are they were gonna feel really stupid when they called Fred and said, 'Hey, Fred, I know we just buried your wife here back in, 2023, but, yeah, we got a problem.'" Y I They weren't go I have a funny feeling that they would not want to do that, right? Poor Fred. Um, oh god, I hope you do not die on us, Megan. We don't have a place to put you. Look at this is what's going on here, right? Oh, good. But yeah, so and Clip says, "I bet this is all in that fine print on the contract, the my bad section of things that could go wrong." Now, I don't know about that because I would have to see what paperwork Fred and his wife signed. I'm sure that they would have had to. I don't know if I have actual paperwork for our plots and stuff, but, I should look into that because now I'm curious. Now I'm worried, right? Like, what if they just tell you, "Yeah, you have a family plot where you should reasonably be able to go for however till it's full," right? And then they're gonna start telling you, "Oh, no, we're all full up here." So then what do you do? But these are things too, guys. This is a very good, not that this is I'm not blaming Fred or his family because I think this falls more to the city than it does to Fred and his wife. His wife only passed away in 2023. So, right, it's been, like, not even quite probably 3 years, it looks like, so if my math is mathing. And in those 3 years, nobody reached out to him to tell him, that he wouldn't be able to go there. So I don't know, something is pretty shady. I think they should have make accommodations to either just be like, "Hey, he's already purchased this plot. He should be able just keep your fingers crossed that you dig on that side and you don't dig somebody else up unless, um, I wonder if there is somebody already there. That's what I'm kinda wondering. But this shouldn't make a difference. Like most cemeteries probably aren't gonna have this in their contract, right? Like, if you purchase a burial plot, they should only be selling you plots if they have room for it. Like, they show you where your plot is gonna be, right? It's all mapped out. They show you where it's gonna be. And then when you die, they go, "Oh, no, we're full." Well, no, 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 no. You showed me on a map and I purchased my plot. That I don't think is in the fine print anywhere, but I'd still like to see. I'm sure it's a city cemetery. I'm sure they're gonna be shifty about something, but Clip says the joke is you could be signing your life away when you don't read the fine print. In this case, it's true. Yeah, poor signing ugh, your remains away, I guess. It's just yeah, chicky and fearless. They're so cute. Just look at them. They're just oh. No, I think they could, Megan. They could probably share a casket if Fred was cremated. I believe part of the he could go in there with her because they said just casket burials, and that led me to believe that cremains, like if somebody was cremated, they could probably go into an already existing grave with a vault. So they could probably already go into something like that. But Fred wanted to be buried. That's his last wish. So now his family is probably thinking too, like, oh, d does he now would dad want it? Would he have wanted it maybe if he knew about this beforehand? Would he have said, "Oh, I'm fine with being cremated, just put me in with Norma?" Or was he very some people have very firmly held beliefs on cremation over, right, being buried. So, it's a touchy I don't his family doesn't seem to think that Fred wanted to be cremated. He wanted to be buried beside his wife, not scattered uh, in her already existing coffin. And let's see, girl Ryan, I hope you are feeling better. Meg, oh, let's see. And hello, Anne. It's okay to be late. We're just getting started. Oh, I know I have to go back to the doctor tomorrow and get more steroids. So I feel for all of y'all. So ooh, it's yeah. Let's see, the black lung. Oh my gosh. That's what I think I have right now. I think it's carting all that getting all that water and the hoses out to the horses. Meg, oh great. Now Megan thinks she has the black lung. Eclipse says, "Well, now that I found out we can bury bodies on our own property, I'm just gonna dig a hole in the backyard." There you go. That's what I do. I mean, that's what I would do if yeah. Just make sure you, you get permission first. Apparently, they get very testy about those sorts of things. So, but um, yeah, if you own your own property, you can have opt for home burials, but you also most states have you that piece of property that you decide to put your family cemetery on or your one person cemetery, they do have you section that off from the rest of the property. Uh, at least in Michigan. It may be different in other states because I know some people have like family cemeteries that they have right on their properties. So it's probably a little different. Maybe like out in the western states or something where there's people with people with big old ranches like the Duttons or something like, I don't know, Yellowstone. That's what I'm imagining, but, I know in Michigan, at least, you can, like, say you own, like, 20 acres and you decide you want to your, mom and dad wanna be buried on the property together side by side. They would have to whatever, like, an acre of land has to be cut off from that 20 acres, and then that is designated as a cemetery or a private cemetery. I'm sorry, guys. Gosh, see, I need more antibiotics so I can stop coughing all the time. Yeah, and Darlene, they should absolutely cover everything. That's why, but I worry about trying to move this monument. I mean, these things are. I don't know if you guys. I should. You know what? I'm gonna contact my cousin. I want to. She her and her husband, they work for a monument company. That's where my mom's headstone came from. I would like to watch them, like, install one because these things are this is a pretty good size one. This isn't even the biggest one I've ever seen, but it's pretty good size. I can't imagine this is light. I don't think I've ever actually seen one go in, but I've seen old ones be repaired, and that takes a lot of work. Uh, so and, are you guaranteed that it's not gonna something's gonna break or bust? And then who buys like, yeah, is the city responsible for that? Are they gonna have to buy a new I mean, you're just put him in the ground beside her. He paid for his plot. You've already screwed up once. Just suck it up, City of Lafayette. That's my personal opinion only, in my opinion. That's it. Can they bring grandma up and put grandpa in with her? It's not ideal, but yeah, they could. I mean, but like I said, they seem to be very stuck on this no more casket burials. Because I think if they were open to the option of a double vault, he'd still be in a casket. So that probably would have been something they offered pretty quickly. Like, oh, we'll just double it up. But they don't want any more casket burials, period, and they're just right, like, they've just drawn the line in the cemetery, and they're like, "Nope, no more, that's it." But yeah, you can go ahead and dig one up and take it out of here, but we can't, sorry for that. But yeah, you can take somebody out of here, but we can't have you, anybody else going in here. It's just I don't know. I think they're just being a little bit too it's just bureaucracy. think I said that. Yeah, I actually pronounced a word right. When I'm angry, I can usually say something. Let me pop down here, see what you guys have to say. Aw, everybody wants you to feel better, Megan. Hi, Sassy. I just saw you in there. I'm sorry. I got distracted by the whatever that was. All right, here we go. I'm like, whoa, hi. Go away now. There we go. All right. I'm blushing, aren't I? Woof. That was embarrassing. Crap. I have to edit that out. Yeah, I think I can edit that out still. All right. So as of let me get my notes back up here. Uh, as of yesterday, I looked, and the current state of the case is uh, the city of Lafayette has halted all new full casket burials. Oh, so they've halted all full casket burials. So that lets me believe that you could do cemetery, not cemetery, cremains. And now the city has said that they will pay to move Norma. They will disinter her and move her to whatever cemetery, another cemetery for her and Fred to be buried there together. Or Fred can just be buried by himself in another cemetery, which were not his final wishes. Thank you, TF. Gosh. Yeah, it might be time to if I'm gonna do this vertical thing, I guess I probably better get mods in here. Um So those are the options. There is no option to leave Norma there and bury Fred there. So either Fred's got to go be buried alone or Norma has to be disinterred and taken somewhere else. So either situation is causing obviously extreme distress for the family. The family is still they don't want either of these proposals. They want to honor the original plan with the chosen spot where Fred initially intended where Norma is buried. So, and yeah, as of see, what do I have here? But as of January 26th to the 27th, the burial still has been blocked by the city. They say they are actively working to resolve this matter and managing the complexities and sensitivities of the situation. But Mr. Smith's body, as of today, I looked to find an update. He's still being held at the mortuary. And what is it, February 5th? So he is what about 10, 11 days into, so he's about halfway through. They got to figure something out pretty soon. Some of the common resolutions, like we were just kind of discussing them, like what they could do. Uh, they could do burying cremated remains on top of an existing casket. This is what a lot of cemeteries still do allow, even when they're full. But Fred is not cremated. That wasn't his final wish. The other option is disinterment. Like the city has proposed to the Smiths that they would move the existing spouse to a new plot, or some cemeteries, even though they're full up, like there is no more space, some cemeteries will allow them to put in a new vault that is a double vault and place two caskets in a double vault. So instead of like a 6-foot vault, you'd have like a 12-foot, or maybe they're 10 or 12. I can't remember what the exact of the double ones are. Maybe that's one I'll have to cover at some point. So that's it. So far, I'm going to keep updating us on this and see what the city does. Hopefully, they pull their heads out their arses and decide to. I think they should just let poor Fred just be buried there. Seems like it's kind of their screw up, not the families, but this now the family's being penalized for it, and they can't even grieve poor Fred. I mean, look at that cute little couple. Look at them. They're freaking adorable. Chicky and fearless. I just Oh, that could be any of our grandparents or our parents, and then suddenly they find out grandpa's got no place to go. All right. So, how are we doing, guys? We had a little excitement in the chat. I think that's my first roll, other than the Don Lemon guy, and that one wasn't even really that bad. Hello, Tiff. What did we? It was nasty, Tiff. So, like Anne, that's funny. This is good for something. Yay! Thank you. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, Tiff. You could have just stayed right here. Apparently, we were gonna have one right here in this chat. I was late because I went down the local sex offender. That's a scary place to go. I don't I like living out in the country. At least there's a little bit more space between me and them, but oh gosh, I believe it. So I'm gonna keep us updated on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Norma, Fearless, and Chicky, and hopefully we'll have a good resolution. I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I'm a fighter. I would probably be right up there, like, screaming at them, like, "You're gonna put my dad right there next to my mom where we intended." Uh, but I'd also think if having been in the grief situation, having lost a parent, I would probably also kind of be like, "You know what? Let's just get this over with. Let's move, mom. You guys are taking care of all of this, though." And if you break something or she needs a new casket, all of that is should be covered by the city. Like, every single penny of it should be covered by the city because this is their screw up, but, you know, city's probably gonna try to get out of it too, which is, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'll keep us updated. I'm checking every day. I got a Google alert for it. So, and yeah, you guys can thank Rubicon for this one because this is a good one. I wouldn't have known about it. It wouldn't have popped up on my radar. So I'm glad she sent it to us. And that's it for the controversy. That's it. Everything else for the rest of the night is going to be just fun stuff. Well, yeah, fun stuff. We're going to look at some cool headstones. All right. Do we need anything? Do we need a fire? Do anybody need to be hosed off or anything? How are we doing? Anne says, I think lawyers are overused. But I'm thinking they should get one. I bet they already have one. And I'm sorry, I'm itching my arm, guys. That's another reason I gotta go to the doctor tomorrow. I got I messed with that hay in the barn again, and now I've got like, yeah, it's not. Yeah, another reason for steroids. Better living through steroid intervention. That's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. As long as it stops itching, I'll be happy. But yeah, I think if they don't already have a lawyer, I'm sure they're probably gonna have one very soon. But gosh, that's also an expense though, right? Like something that they shouldn't uh I don't know. I'm gonna assume that Fred probably already had all these things. Like he already, they've got the headstone, they've got the um he probably already had all this stuff paid for, all taken care of. But um I mean, that's something that they shouldn't have to be worrying about that. Like, they're burying dad and grandpa, and like I said, if this woulda happened with my mom, I can't tell you guys what I don't know. It would have gone either one of 2 ways. My head would have spun off and would have needed an exorcism, or, I would have just been like, "Let's just you know, move them together," or whatever. But yeah, it seems to be she only died in 2023. That probably should have been something that was addressed then, since it was 2019 when they found the remains uh, for this. And I'm going to go look for that other article too, because I want to see what that family did. The one from November. I want to see if they got their burial request. Doesn't sound like they did. So I want to see how that ended up too. So I'm going to look into this a little bit and see we can dig into it. Maybe there's nothing there, but might be something interesting. uh, TF says lawyers are the only profession we wouldn't need if we didn't have to. I know. Wouldn't it be nice? Oh my god, I gotta stop itching my arm. I'm gonna. What are you guys all talking about? Just laying for. Oh, good. Get. I can't even see now. I can't even say your name right. Oh, you guys have been a bad influence on me. Very bad influence. Could you insulate your hose, water hose? With I wish. I wish that it was as easy as that, Tiff, but it's just too damn cold. It's getting especially when it got down to the negatives, but, tomorrow, I'm going to get 1 more extra, um, bundle extension cord because I don't have quite enough. I'm going to take hopefully, I don't burn my barn down. This is what I'm worried about. I am going to take one of my, lamps that I use for the chickens in the baby chicks, like their little heat lamps, and I'm gonna put one of those over the top of my trough because that sucker is not thawing. Like, I've poured hot water on it, it'll thaw out a little bit, but I mean, think of this, it's a big, huge tank, and it's like one big ol' ice cube. So I've been trying to pour hot water on it, it's not working, so I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that little heat lamp on there, I'm gonna be there with it, I'm not gonna catch my barn on fire, but, since I can't get the damn blowtorch, apparently they're not recommended for plastic tanks, but otherwise, I'd be lighting that baby I would definitely probably set my barn on fire then, but god, wouldn't I want one. It would be so much fun. Sassy, I hear you. Yeah, I've had one of those, radiator heaters. Well, because I it's one that I recommended you to get for your little outside kitties, like the little radiator looking ones. I've had one going down in the basement now since Christmas because it's a couple times my outside tap has froze, and it's supposed to be frostless. Yeah, and if that freezes, that means my pipes inside are gonna freeze, and that's an even bigger problem. So, like, I had to plug that in, and yeah, that's gotta be at least an extra 150, $200 a month. That's what if I also had to go put, the tank heaters in, it would put up my electric bill another 150 to $200. So, this is just a really crappy winter. Hopefully, that means, like March, it's gonna be like spring, yay, and then right into summer. It's just ridiculous. I'm done with winter, I'm done. But hey, in like 12 days, I'm gonna be drinking hurricanes in New Orleans, so and I'm leaving the farm is gonna be in good hands, the kid's gonna be in good hands, and I'm gonna be having some fun, finally. Yeah, I know, Tiff. Really want that damn flamethrower. It's gonna be so I did briefly speak to Mitty last night in OP's chat because I said I needed her opinion because she's handled one. So I trust her. She won't steer me wrong. I know. But I'm pretty sure she's going to tell me not to probably use it indoors, like in my barn, and probably not use it on a plastic tank. So I'm going to try the heat lamp and see how that works. And then maybe, like, some more buckets of hot water, but those buckets are heavy. I'm tired. I'm beat. This old girl I don't wanna be all broken by the time I get down to New Orleans. I won't be able to have any fun. And Ann says, "I know someone who bought a submersible heater for their water tub." Yeah, they work. They're great, Ann, but, um, I mean, if you've ever used, like, a space heater in your house, they're not efficient. They just like, your electric bill. It's crazy. Even those little one winter I bought like, these I have some feral cats that I take care of, and so I was like, "I'm gonna get 'em one of these little, those little heated water bowls." And I'm like, "That way I can because I was kept going out there and they wouldn't have water because it would freeze, and then I was like, "You gotta have water, right?" So I bought 'em one of those little heated water bowls. Our electric bill went up like $60, and I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna just bring you guys water. I'll take 1 dish in, thaw it out, then bring out another one for him," because I was like, "Holy crap," and that's just a little like, it was just a little, like, about that size water dish too, it wasn't even that big. So those tank heaters, yeah, they take a lot. Usually, like even in Colorado, which is where my other 2 tank heaters are, if they were here, I would be using them, but I found out that they weren't here. Thought they were with all my other horse stuff, but apparently they didn't get out of the barn, so they didn't make the move, and, um, yeah, or else I would've just sucked it up and used them, but, uh, even in Colorado, like, we would just unplug them during the day, but it's been so darn cold here that I don't even know if I could have done that without them freezing, so this is just not typical. It's just been cold. And Sassy says, "I bought a heated bowl for their food and water. It's running" right? It's crazy. Like, and those are little ones, so imagine, like, a big one like, a horse tank, and I don't even know. I don't do gallons and stuff, but I think it's like a I'll have to look and see how big that horse tank is. It's huge. It waters 7 horses. So, like, they won't drink all of it in one day, so it's a big tank. So, yeah, it would take a lot to keep that sucker from freezing, but, yeah, it's just one big solid ice cube now. I can go out there I thought I was gonna, like, go out there and start chipping at it. I don't recommend that. Never take, um, a shovel and just go and attack a giant ice cube because 'cause it'll bounce back and hit you in the face. Fortunately, I moved quickly enough where, yeah, it didn't hit me, but oh, yeah, it's been fun. Alright, you guys wanna look at some cool headstones, or you wanna talk about my tank? Ooh, wish I could get a tank with a flamethrower. I'm getting an arsenal, that's it. That's the next clip. Let's see. It's oh my gosh, Tiff. Tiff, you're crazy smart and intuitive from what I know of these YouTube channels, giving you a hug to keep going. Plus, dachshunds are the best. Dachshunds are I love them. They're little turds, but they're the best. My mom had one, and his name was Montel. He was a little turd. Um, but God, I miss him. He would look like a little sausage, look like he was ready to come he was so fat, looked like he was ready to come out of his casing. It was so cute. Yeah, so I had no idea they cost so much. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Horses are not, um I'm poor because of the animals here. When I told my mom I was gonna take care of her horses, I was like and to think back now, like, damn, I don't know if I was able to I got just the 3 of mine and then hers. So, yeah, it's a lot, but I'm fulfilling my promise to her, so it's worth it. And Sassy says, "Well, I've only had the 2 heated water bowls for 2 weeks. I don't think that ran up my bill, but my old heater probably did." It could have, yeah. If you can unplug them during, like, the day and then or get, like a timer, because when my tank heaters come, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it cycle where they shut off, so maybe my bill won't be too terribly high, but I know as soon as those heaters get here, it's gonna, like, be warm again because that's just how my luck goes, right? But, yeah, I'm not gonna complain too much because, hey, I'm able-bodied enough that it hasn't been that bad, but I know, I just like to complain once in a while. Oh, goodness. I would love to have horses. I know, I love them, but I do feel bad for them when it's, like, this cold outside, so, but they do tend to follow me around. I love it when I come outside because they all, like they're all, like, talking to me because they know the water's coming out for their buckets, so it does make you feel loved and wanted. And speaking of feeling loved and wanted, do we wanna look at some lovely headstones with some people that really loved their other person? And that's the one I'm gonna start with. I gotta pull my notes up here, though. I've showed you guys some of these before. Um, I'm gonna save the best one for last, and the best one is the one that Ernie sent to me. So I'm gonna let hers be last because it is the prettiest one. And is this I think this is Fernand. This is Fernand, like his name. So, all right, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna catch up on you guys here just in case. So, just in case I'm gonna have to make some anybody want to help out booting trolls, let me know and I'll make you a mod. I just need you to boot trolls if I don't see them. If they're really nasty, like get rid of them. Get rid of them. If they're just being weird, I'm fine with weird, but like Don Lemon, that one doesn't bother me. But you guys are more than welcome. I will hire you as I'll give you room and board, and I'm making mean taco salad if you guys wanna come up and work for me. Yeah, that's but I can't pay you in money, but I can pay you in all the horsey hugs you can manage from them, and, Raina gives horsey hugs, but she will kick you too, so just be mindful of her. She's a little persnickety, even on the best of days, even with me, and she loves me, like, I'm her person. Um, mm, can you get a heated mat? I'm gonna get for me, I need something. Seems like anything that you have to plug in is just, like, gonna drive, the electric up, but the one good thing is, though, we have the pellet stoves, and they're very, energy efficient as far as the electric, so it shouldn't be too bad, once the heaters are here, so or well, I only have the 1 trough, so, in Colorado, we had 2, but, I'm just gonna I'm making do with 1 because it's a pain in the butt. So, yeah, I'll get through. We gotta be coming to spring at some point, right? Like, it's gotta be coming. Ugh. Yeah, horses are not cheap to keep. And hello, Gigi. Well got her got her TF's the troll. He actually got rid of the troll, isn't that awesome? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, any of you guys wanna be on the troll hunt, let me know. I'll pop ya. I just took it away because we didn't have anybody, so, nobody was causing any problems. We would have had Lemon Dawn where we battle it out with Don Lemon. Oh my gosh, right? 2 lemons in 1 plate. I don't know if you can do that. Uh-oh, we got a fight going on. Uh-oh. I'm gonna step back. I don't want any drama in here, you guys. That's okay, Sassy. We can derail. I'm not yeah. Oh, let's look at these pretty pictures though real quick. Well, not real quick. But wait, yeah, there is one sad one. I lied. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lie once in a while, guys. Yeah. Here we go. So this is here. I'm gonna make him bigger. Oop, there we go. Now you can see. And I know this looks a little creepy, but once you hear I don't know, I think it's still creepy, but it's about love. So this is the grave of Mr. Here we go with my French, Fernand Arbelot, and he is at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. And I hope I said that right, but if not, that's the best I'm gonna do. And here's a little something that was caught my eye when I was going through trying to find some really cute, lovely headstones to share with you guys. This one is imagine a love so strong, even in death, you cradle your partner's face for eternity. Fernand Arbello, is it? Maybe it's Arbello. Yeah, Arbello's grave at Pierre Lachaise is touching, haunting, and wrapped in mystery. And if you read his Find a Grave, it says that he was a stage performer. So he was a musician and a stage performer. However, when I looked him up, it said that he was a banker. So I'm a little confused. Maybe there's two Fernands with the same name who are both holding their wife's face for eternity. But so I'm not 100% sure, but that's the information I found. So I could be wrong, or perhaps Find a Grave is wrong. Sometimes Find a Grave can be wrong, but so I can as well. So yeah, a love so strong, you're going to cradle your wife's face for eternity. I think that's sweet. It's weird. No, it's weird. But so Fernand, he was born February 16th, 1880 in Paris, and he died November 16th, 1942 during World War II. Says he was a banker by profession, and he did serve in World War II. I'm not sure if that's how he died, but he was serving. And beyond his banking profession, there's not a whole lot documented on him. According to his, like I said, the Find a Grave, it said he was an actor and a musician, but I'm not sure about that. So he is located in Division 11, and this cemetery sculpture was completed in 1946 by Adolphe, oh gosh, Wansart. Hmm. I killed that. Who is a Belgian sculptor known for expressive and dramatic works. And it features a bronze figure of a recumbent man holding a stylized woman's head, widely interpreted as Arbelo's cradling the face of his wife, symbolizing his eternal love for her. And the epitaph reads, "They were amazed at the beautiful journey that led them to the end of life." And other than this is I think they said, this is one of the more memorable pieces at the cemetery, which also has iconic graves like Oscar Wilde's. Jim Morrison is also buried here as well. So for this grave to stand out and to be among the likes of Oscar Wilde and Jim Morrison, I think that's pretty extraordinary, and it is a very cool grave, or a very cool, sculpture, and I'll show you the photos. Pop my I have to go up to my gotta put my notes where they need to be. There we go. So, there he is. This is I wanna go to this. I'm not that interested in going to Paris all that much because I hear it's kinda not as great as what everybody says it is, but if somebody has been and changed my mind, I'd love that because this is I see so many monuments from this cemetery. I mean, Oscar Wilde and Jim Morrison aside, I mean, there's some phenomenal ones. We've looked at a couple the last time I did these headstones for you guys. We looked at a few that were really cool. The one with the looks like the girl's just sitting there, like on the gate. That's like one of my favorite ones because I know she would creep me the hell out if I walked up on her in the cemetery. I would think that was a person because she looks that lifelike. But here's a couple shots, and these are all off Find a Grave, so if you go look him up, I'll put a link to his memorial in the description, so if you guys wanna go check him out yourself. And it really is, I mean, it's I'm not very good with my styles, but it kinda has that, I wanna say, like, an art deco look to it. Um, my voice is really cracking. I am so sorry, guys. Um, this photo, I wish I could, I would have this is a cool photo. Like, I would want this on a wall. It looks really it's not as creepy because it just looks like there's 2 people just looking at each other instead of him holding I I mean, I get it, but it does kinda look like he's holding her decapitated head, and I'm not so sure about that. But it's very pretty, and this is their epitaph on the back. It's in French. I did not read the French. You guys will excuse me for that, I hope, because you don't want me to butcher it. Alright, and then I'll leave it there here for a second while I talk to you guys real quick. As I'm wheezy. Ugh. Alright, here we go. Ba, 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 bum, bum. Yeah, I know, looks deco. Okay, there we go. Yes, there we go. Alright. Okay. Wow, you guys got alright, there we go. I see the derailment. I always try to remember where I left off. He is bodiless, not headless. She is bodiless. I don't know where the wife is supposed to be buried. I don't know if they're in the same like, if this is a crypt or, like, a tomb under here. I know some of these are tombs. Um, so I should have probably looked at that, but I was just more interested in just the sculpture itself. It's beautiful. I've seen this in I don't know how many different locations I've seen this, like, uh, just the artwork alone just art alone, this is beautiful, and yeah, I think it's got that deco look to me too, and I'm not great with the styles and everything, but art deco and deco what is it, nouveau, yeah, I get them a little confused, but I think I'm pretty close on that somewhere. I know it's really horrible that I was an art major at one time. I've forgotten all of that. And he ripped her head he didn't rip her head, just her face. Just her face off. It's romantic. He wanted to make sure that he could look at her forever. This is something that oh gosh, see, this is why I love you guys because, I was trying to be like, step out of my box, out of my crypt with my little dark heart and bring love and stimulation to you guys. And you guys are all going down the same path I was. Like, why is he holding her head, or just her face? Because this is creepy. But hey, no, it's lovely. It's beautiful. For eternity. I hope she liked him. I hope she loved him too. Um, that's all I can say. I, I hope she loved him as much as he loved her, so that maybe she doesn't want to be staring at him for the rest of eternity. But and then I never knew that this was his wife. I honestly, when I used to see this, photos of this monument, I thought it was him. I thought it was, like, him looking at himself. Like, I'm like, "Oh, this dude is really, like, he's really into himself." Like, so, like, "Love so strong" or "Love so weird." That maybe that would have been better. I think, yeah, "Love so weird." Um, at church yeah, I know who you're talking about, Sassy, and I think you spelled it right. It's like I said, my it's been so long since this lady looked into art. Oh gosh. Tiff is probably knows more, than I do. I can't recall anything hardly anymore. It looks like Data from Star Trek Next Day. The face or the guy? Let me look. Here we go. Where's the face? Oh. I like how it looks like she's, like, crying, like, black tears, which tells me she doesn't wanna be there. Um, yeah. Why is he laying on what looks like a rack of ribs? This is why I love you guys. Oh god, ribs right now would be oh my god. Oh, I'm hungry. I like that. She gave Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Did I just we got another troll in the chat. Don't kick Sassy. No, it's not. It's never too soon for those kind of jokes. That's funny, Sassy. That's good. I'm gonna put you on the give you a point for that. And oh, did you like Paris? Is it worth it? Because the only thing I'm gonna be at this cemetery. That's probably just about all. Yeah. Well, maybe the Eiffel Tower, but I'm not going up it. I'm afraid of heights. Yeah, it is very pretty. I do like it. This has always been one of my favorite ones, but like I said, for years, I honestly thought that he was staring like he was that was him because it doesn't look very feminine. Like it just looks um like almost like a dude's face. Which I guess I mean maybe I don't want to judge him. So, but I honestly did just think he was staring at himself for eternity, and I thought that was a little vain. But Tiff says, I've been to Paris and had super fun, cool visit, stay with friends of my girlfriend at the time. I want to go, but I also kind of like, I don't know. I'll let you guys convince me. If it's worth it, I'll trust you and I'll go. I was supposed to go one time and then I did something else. I can't remember where I went instead. Oh, I went to Scotland. That's right. Which turned out to be way more fun anyway. Well, at least for me. Um, Sassy, it is kind of gross if it's from the 1940s. Maybe they ran out of money for the body. Maybe. Well, that would have been even more. Uh, I think they could have at least. Maybe he should have been holding. Maybe they should have put a mirror, like him holding a mirror with her, or a por I don't know. Hey, it's art. It's open for interpretation, right? And each their own, but it's different. It definitely is. 'Cause, like, the guillotine is. They still use that there? I hope not. Oh, I like my neck where it is. Oh, wait, because her maybe he had her head cut. No, this was the four he died in what did I say, 42? Yeah, 42. What kind of stone is that? I'm not sure. Did it tell me? Bum, bum, bum. Let me look. Bum, 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 bum. Alright. Sculpture. It's a bronze figure, so it's bronze. So not stone, but bronze. Did I forget that last time? Maybe I forgot that. And wait till the next one we're gonna go to Italy, and my Italian is no better than my French, so I'm gonna warn y'all ahead of times. Yeah, ahead of time. I couldn't tell if it was a woman's head. It looked at it from an artistic perspective, like MC Etcher. Now I wanna look up, where did that come up before? Did we look at something that was I'm gonna star that, Sassy, because for some reason that's, like, striking a bell with me for, I think those are her ribs on the now I see the spare ribs. Why is he dressed like he's got, like, a cloak on, right? Okay, alright. You guys wanna see the next one? I've got, one more. You're kidding me? Because now I want ribs. The ribs are fabric, like rolls, right? I think they're, like, part of a cloak or something. Because every dude needs a cloak. Uh, and Girl Rise says, "I hate this guy. He definitely has a flat. He's just flat altogether, right?" MC Etcher drew himself looking at himself, the self-portrait. I always liked the one of Van Gogh that he did when he did his, self-portrait. He did a lot of self-portraits, actually. Yeah, and those hands are weird. Okay, we gotta stop picking up art this art, Spare too. Yes! Yes, they are. Oh my god, okay. Anne says, "Paris is worth it, but I am not into fashion," or see, I'm not either. I'm not into fashion or any of that, like, I do like museums and art. Can't tell because I can't remember anything from any of my art history classes. Go oh, see, I was the bread, cheese, and wine. I could survive on all 3 of those. I may be a little French somewhere. I'm not, but they're gonna make fun of me. the rigatoni incident clips. Do you remember the rigatoni incident? Um, but once they hear me, oh my god, if I have to try to get around some plates, faux capa. Faux is French, right? Let's see. Doo, doo. Why do I hate this? Okay, so I'm gonna move on from him because you guys really, yes, he's theatrical. That's right. Well, I think he just wanted to be an actor. I think he just put that out. He's just a banker. He got pigeonholed right into being a banker because his dad's like, "You suck. You're not an actor. You're never gonna make it as a musician. You have to have," right. Like he wanted him to have a good job to fall back on, and then he just told everybody, "I'm a musician." He really wasn't. He was just a banker, closet banker. All right. The next one is a little sad. Ugh. Now I see every time I think these are beautiful when I find them to show you guys, and then I worry because it's a little intense, so trigger warning, but it's beautiful. So if you look at it from an artistic point of view, we should be okay. This is a type of, let's see how to, okay, let me get my notes here because I was gonna try to pull it from memory, but that's not gonna work. And then I'm going to try to say this. It's Edicola Izar is the name of this, what do I wanna say? I think it's the structure, but it's an architectural term, it's also, like, the structure, and it's also this is a family tomb. So, Edicola Izar, here I can put it in the, because I know Tiff is probably gonna ask how to spell it. I'm gonna pop it over here for you guys, and there it is, and hopefully I am saying it properly, I think I am, but, and the name Edicola Izar is supposed to be okay, see, an architectural term, okay, here it is. It's not, apparently it has some sort of connection to, like, newspaper stands in Italian, and I'm not sure, I'm not Italian, I've never been to an Italian newspaper stand, but they call these newspaper stand, uh structures, like the way this is laid out with the steps. So I found it very interesting. I'm going to check out some more of these because I haven't heard of these before. So Ediacola is a small structure or a niche, and it's built to protect something sacred, but it's also built to be seen, obviously, and it's built for people to come and to remember and to mourn. And when you see the images, it's definitely fits that. And this is in northern Italy. This is Cimitero Monumentale in Milan. And I think I'm getting better at saying that one because I know I've struggled with it before. So this is a 1904 memorial that was commissioned by a woman, Amelia Maki, and she was the wife and mother who had pretty much she'd lost both her sons, Marco and Giovanni Battista, and then also her husband, Federico. Marco and Giovanni Battista were only 21 and 22 years old when they died, so they were still really young. And soon after, their father Federico passed away, and and join them. So Amelia created this, not just a tomb, but this, like, I mean, this is a huge statement of her grief. And at the heart of it is a bronze composition known simply as Faith. And I'm going to try to, it's Fede. Ugh. And it's sculpted by Felice Belletti. Ooh, I might have got that one right. And when you see these figures, there's two emaciated, shrouded male figures that look very fragile, and they're both facing each other, and they're both reaching out towards the mother. And I think it's so beautiful. It's very sad, but it's so beautiful. Um, and then when you look at them, the dead, they're not really resting, or they're not dead. How to say it? They don't seem to be dead or resting, but they seem to sort of be longing, like they're reaching out for mom. When I show you the photos, it's beautiful. And it's kind of unsettling as well, so little trigger warning, maybe if you guys wanna, I don't know, close one eye, uh, just for a little bit of it, but it's worth seeing. But, so this monument overlooks the cemetery's main avenue, so passerbyers walk past this all the time, and they're just like, "Whoa." It's a lot to take in, as you can tell. It's huge. When Amelia passed away in 1924, it was 20 years after she commissioned this monument. She was placed here as well, and then her family was completely memorialized in the bronze, and that's her sitting up there at the top. And today, this remains one of the most emotionally powerful works in the cementerio, and the place is often described as an open museum of funerary art. And I've shown you guys some from this cemetery already. Like, it might as well be a museum. It's just breathtaking and beautiful, even if some of them are uh, a little much, but it's beautiful. And you can tell that she loved her husband, she loved her boys, and I'm gonna show you now they're for eternity. This is where they are. I'm gonna pop here, over here, and that is Amelia, and these are her 2 sons. It sorta looks like they're kissing, but I don't think they are. It just says that their faces are turned towards each other, and her husband is the one right there in the middle, so he's right above the 2 sons. I'm not sure what her sons died of, it didn't say, but it must have been something pretty, uh, pretty debilitating. I'm gonna imagine they do look pretty emaciated, and they're both reaching out, and Amelia's holding both of their hands in hers. And I think it's either son is one son's on one end, and the other son is inside the reliefs there, inside the niches, I mean. So that's her husband, Federico. And I just love the detail on her with her hair pulled up, and you can see the comb and the braiding in her hair. And oh, but hopefully that's not too traumatizing for you guys. Um, there we go. See what you guys have to say. My Discord. Uh-oh. Hopefully there's not a troll in the Discord. It's definitely a shrine. I I can't imagine losing both your boys and your husband in such a short period of time. But what a way to be memorialized like that. I mean, this is just massive. Uh, to have these steps, I did not know about, like, a newsstand monument tomb like this. It's, uh, I mean, you can't this screams, "Look at us," I guess, so it's beautiful. It's on my list of things to look up, so and now I definitely wanna go to Milan, which seems a little bit more exciting. Um, the more cemeteries I find cool cemeteries I find places, the more that I want to get out and actually go there, but and I agree, pizza is a way easier word to say. Oh, goodness. Um, and I'll pop over, so that's that one. Oh god, I just love it. Just everything about it. It's just beautiful, but yeah, it's a little sad, but at least they're not babies this time. I didn't bring you those. I promised I would only do those once in a while. After that last time, I think I made all of us really sad when I had all those baby ones, so and I think it's bronze, the is that what it said? I believe it did say that. Um, bronze, yeah, memorialized and bronzed. So, her her part of the memorial wasn't placed until after her death, so I find that really that she wasn't placed there until, so they must have had it all mapped out, like, where she was going to go, like, where her figure was going to sit and everything, and then when she passed away and was placed in the tomb, then her statue, her, bronze statue was placed there, so it's beautiful. This is one I just kinda threw in here. I don't have a lot on it. This is another one in the same cemetery, and I believe this one is did I put oh, my head's over the top of it. Hang on, let me go over it. Oh, wrong one. Oop, there we go. This is in the same cemetery since we were talking about love. This one at least is um, a little better because he's not holding her face off in his hand, but this is called The Lovers by Ricardo Pieter. Peter? I think it's Peter. Yeah, Peter. And this is from 1965. I think this is also a um, bronze top, and then there's marble underneath it. But it's very pretty, and it just shows, I don't think this is a replica of the people entombed here, it's just, a a sculpture, and it's beautiful too. I think it's just breathtaking. I can get behind this one. This looks pretty normal. Um, yeah, it's sweet, isn't it? Oh. So, yeah, it is bronze, and it sits on a marble base, and but like I said, I don't think it's supposed to depict the 2 people that are actually buried here, but it's still really pretty, and it just looks kinda like I wish I could sleep next to somebody like this, but I'm usually kicking people, so, that they can rest like this for eternity, I think it's very sweet. Sorry. And then the last one, which Ernie, this is for you if you're still listening, because this one really got me because I think you guys have I think people have seen this one. Even if you don't um get into all the cemetery stuff like I do, or one of us weirdos, right? I think you have probably seen photos of these graves, these 2 graves somewhere because 'cause they're all over TikTok, they're all over Instagram. I've seen them for photos of them for I don't even know how long, ages, forever, and they're pretty iconic, so when you see them, and I think this actually, if you want to I know, I'm gonna say it. If you wanna believe in love, I think these 2 people probably embodied it at a time when it was not socially acceptable for them to love each other or to even to be married to each other. And so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about their story. No. See, My first thought was like, what if he's got morning breath for eternity, right? Like, or snoring, or what if they cough? Like, ugh, eh. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Anne here. Anne, they look like very much in love. But it's very sweet. I like to just say, at least they look like they're sleeping and not crushed under a butt. Yeah. Okay, or just their face. But yeah, this is our artistic educate our art educate. Yeah, this is art education. I'll go with that. All right. So I'm gonna tell you the story. And I don't know why I do this because I pick places that I can't say these names, but you guys just bear with me and we'll get through this. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit. So the gentleman that we see here, our handsome colonel in his Dutch cavalry uniform. He was a career officer and a veteran of the Dutch Army. He was born in Amsterdam in 1809, and his full name, oh, bear with me here, guys. Jacobus Warnerus Constantinus van Gorkum. Tiff, do you want me to put that in the chat too? Because I'll put it in there if you want me to. He was I think he's a very dapper gentleman. I like him. So I'm not gonna make fun of him at all because I like him. I like his little, uh I like his little mustache. Oh, he's got a very nice face and his little sashy thing there and his little epaulets going on. He looks, yeah, very distinguished. And I think the ladies are gonna like him too because wait till you hear about him. He's a sweetheart. Or at least he had to have been. But so he was born in Amsterdam, 1809. After he left the Dutch army, he settled in Roermond, which is a city in the Netherlands. He was very well respected, but he was also deeply embedded in the Protestant civic life. Not really sure what that means, but he was very much a Protestant and active in his church. And at that time, your church and your civic, your church and your city were pretty much right. Like they were the same thing. There was no separation. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Catholics at that time in the same town, and that's gonna be exactly the same for the Catholics. So there's the Catholics and then how they ran their part of the town because there was a big difference. And I'm gonna talk about his wife now. And I don't have a photo of her, which is so sad because it would have been awesome to have one of her, but this is her find a grave. And her name is Josephina Carolina Petronella Hubertina Van Efting. And she was Catholic, and she was born in Roermond in 1820. And she actually came from local nobility. So she was from a very old Catholic family. They had very deep regional roots. And with that, very strict expectations for Josephina. She would have been expected to marry someone of equal standing. She would have expected to marry probably somebody that was also of the local nobility, someone of very much of the same social, right? That social scene, right? Probably with the same type of long family history as her, but they'd also have to very much be Catholic as well. That is what her family, as what her religion would have expected of her. However, Josephina met Jacobus and they fell in love. And this was not a time that Catholics and Protestants in the Netherlands would have been doing this. Wasn't an accepted thing. But they got married anyway. And it wasn't, I don't want to say it was like unheard of, because people did from different Protestants married Catholics. It did happen. It was unusual though, but it wasn't unheard of. So these, what they considered, and this is their terminology, they called them mixed marriages. And they weren't accepted really, but they were tolerated. And what this usually meant though with the two people, I mean, they really probably had to really love each other in order to go through. I mean, there would have been a lot of things they had to do. I'll talk about a few of them here. So, they would have had to do a lot of compromising about which church they were going to attend when they had their children. How were their children going to be? What church were their kids going to be, Catholic, or were their kids going to be Protestant? Uh, this also made a big difference on family inheritance at the time. So, like her family being old Catholic nobility of the Netherlands, it could have affected any children that they had, Jacobus and Josephina had together. That could have affected his being Protestant and his choosing to say, okay, we're going to raise the kids Protestant. Well, that might mean that their children wouldn't get any inheritance, say, from Josephina's side of the family, because they'd have to be raised Catholic in order to get that inheritance. And Jacobus and Josephina did have children together. And I did put that up here. So this is a list of their children. They had Maria, Albert, I think that's just Carl, and well, actually it appears to be two Carls, and Anna. So I'm probably saying one of their names wrong. So they did have 2 girls, 3 boys, and I think they all, let me look at how when I forgot to look to see, and they look like they all survived to adulthood. So that's pretty darn good for those times. Let me look over here. Think I saw C. Smith pop in. Quit breathing in my face. I already put that in, right? Yes, isn't he? Oh, I know. My granny, so my great grandmother, her mother, her parents came from Germany in like 1870s, and they were of Prussian Scandinavian descent. It's a web. Um, and their names were like that. Everybody had like 4 names. And I broke with tradition, like we just have 3 names. My son and I, because I was like, no, we're not doing this. And they're all normal names. But yeah, they had very similar names like this, like Jacobus. And one of my great grandmother's sisters, she was Albertina, was one of her middle names too. And I was just like, did they just like throw a bunch of like really big long names into a hat and then just pluck 4 of them out and then go, okay, here's your names. And then they'd be like Albert, Joseph, Frederick. Well, actually, that one's not that bad. Well, doesn't look like they named their kids anything too bad, but at least Josephina, I mean, she's Carolina Petrona. Oh my goodness. I mean, which I think she went by Josephina though, so we'll just leave it at that. But God, they love to give out names. And he's so cute. And he's so cute. Like I just think he's adorable. I'm gonna hope that he was a nice guy. At least Josephina loved him. So this is one of their headstones. I believe this is Jacobus's. Jacob Jacob Anyway. Hey, I got these names I said right, though. So, or at least as close I can get. Hello, C. Smith. And yeah, C. Smith, so many. Are there people watching? Yeah, they're watching us. And yeah, and probably family names. It was probably somebody's great great granny Albertina, and Petronella was another grandmother, right? And they probably all, yeah, that's probably where she got all the, and the same for Jacobus too. He would have got um probably grandfather's names. So from the records, it looks like Jacobus decided to let the children, well, I say let, but most of the family, it seems like they followed the Catholic tradition, which, like I said, this is pretty common when it came to these mixed marriages. It was usually if, say, the mother's family had the local influence, which hers would have because they were of the local nobility, they probably would have gone with that family. So, say if her family had been Protestant, like if their roles would have been swapped, she would have been the Protestant, and her family was the local family with all the influence, they would have been raised, the kids would have been Protestant, and they would have been, their household would have been probably more Protestant, um, based, they more attendance at Protestant church. But Josephina was Catholic, so this is what they decided to raise the children in. I'm going to assume that they probably, I don't know if Jacobus went to attended Catholic church with them, but at least, Josephina and the children went to the Catholic church. And these types of arrangements, yeah, they were just practical. They definitely weren't, there's no romance about this at all. But it was to avoid conflict because there was a lot of division in society at that time. Because no matter where you go, right, like, 2 sides can't ever just get along. And Jacobus and Josephina, they were married for almost 40 years until he passed away in 1880, and he was 91 years old. And he was buried at the Old Protestant Cemetery in Roermond, and again, so he's in the Protestant cemetery, and there's a Protestant cemetery and a Catholic cemetery, they're side by side, they're separated by a brick wall, and this brick wall is enforcing the religious law of the time. So Jacobus's grave was placed directly against the wall, as you can see here. And this isn't, there's only one reason for it. It's not a statement or not accidental. It's very much on purpose, I believe, that they did this. And when Josephina died 8 years later in 1888 at the age of 68, she wanted to be buried next to her husband, right? It doesn't seem like a crazy, I mean, right? Poor Fred, Fred in Colorado just wants to be buried next to his wife, but I mean, this is 2026 in Colorado and he can't get buried next to his wife. And poor Jacobus and Josephina, like they're pretty much SOL, right? Because even though Josephina requested to be buried next to her husband, that was denied. Catholic law at that time prohibited her burial in a Protestant ground. So, Protestant ground would have been the cemetery, and they didn't care if they were married or not. So, regardless of her marital status, she was not going to be allowed to be, as a Catholic, she could not be buried in the Protestant cemetery, and it would have been the other way around too. if she'd been buried in the Catholic cemetery, Jacobus could not have been buried with her there either. So when she passed away, her children, the rest of her family, now remember, she came from local nobility, so they would have probably had some pretty good sway. So if you would think if somebody could get something done, like get some strings pulled, it could have probably been her family, right? But no, they didn't care. This is the rule. This is this is the only way it's going to be. So Josephina was buried on the Catholic side of the cemetery, on the other side of the wall. She could have been buried in her family vault with her noble relatives because they had a family vault, a tomb. But instead, she decided, or probably more so her kids, but maybe it was her final wish was to, I mean, right? It was probably her final wish to be buried by him, or that's what it said. So it was her final wish. So she decided, and her family, they buried her on the opposite side of the stone wall from her husband, from Jacobus. So there are two pretty much identical headstones, one on either side of this wall, and each of them are made of limestone base. And I think there's also like some sandstone component to it as well, which sandstone is really, I think that's the one that like falls apart really easily. And each is topped with um, the Van Gorkum coat of arms. Well, on Jacobus's side, that was hard to get out. He has his coat of arms on the Van Gorkum coat of arms because he served in the military, so he would have had his own coat of arms. And then on her side is what they call an alliance coat of arms on Josephina's side. And I had to look this up because I wasn't sure what an alliance coat of arms was. And what it is when two people married, he had his family coat of arms, Josephina married into his, but she also had a family with a coat of arms, having nobility. They would have combined the two. So the alliance coat of arms would have just been a marriage, a blending together of his and her, the two coat of arms together. And there's the wall that separates the two. But if you look up at the very top, and here I'll make this big. You look up at the very top and you can see they're sort of connected there because there's a big stone wall between them. Their graves can't touch, but at the top there you can see, oh, I lost my notes. Go back here. On one side, there's a man's hand and arm reaching from Jacobus's headstone. And then on the opposite side, which is Josephina's headstone, there's a woman's hand and arm that is reaching out from her headstone. And in the middle, they're holding hands. And they don't really, if you look at them, I'll show you a little closer look. They're not held too tightly. They're just sort of like, I'll show you. I don't know how to explain it very well. It'll be easier just to show you the photo. And it wasn't really a challenge to the church authority, but it was kind of a quiet acknowledgement of the church's limits. Like, yeah, you can make us be buried in two separate cemeteries. Okay, whatever. You got us. There's no way we can be side by side, but you can't stop this. And that's what they did. Later on, these iron railings were installed around the graves. And that's the only reason those are there is because these people, tourists, these are highly This is yeah. People come from all around to come see these graves for over a century. I mean, way past a century now, right? Um, these graves have just they're iconic. I looked up, somebody had posted that in 2017, the remains of Jacobus and Josephina were relocated. I couldn't find anything to substantiate that. I couldn't find documentation of that, but I can't read Dutch either. Some articles popped up, but nothing came up in like English that I could like. Nothing came up that said that this was true. So I don't know. But supposedly in 2017, the family finally, the descendants of Josephina and Jacobus finally were able to relocate and put them together. So the headstones are still there and still attached by the outstretched hands, but um, because those laws don't exist any longer, so you can be buried wherever you like, I guess now there. But I couldn't find anything that said when they were moved, where they were moved to. Their Find a Grave still has them located here in right where they're located in these photos. So I'm not sure. I'm unless I see something that like an article that says that they were moved, I'm just gonna say that they're still here for now. But if you look, this is so they're reaching hands no matter where they are, even if they're not there anymore. It still is a very good representation of their times. That these two people, I mean, they loved each other so much that, I mean, wow. Uh, I mean, yeah, he was a little cutie, but I'd really like to see what she looked like as well. But it's so romantic, right? That they, no matter what, like you hear these stories, but they seldom ever really turn out well, right? Like you have two people from two totally different backgrounds, but they had children. They had 5 children that looked like they did. They raised them to adulthood and they overcame all of that. So I think that's and I don't get mushy, guys. So yeah, this is a lot for me. But they navigated their faith, their family, the authority of the time, and even afterwards, they kind of still found a way to like, like say, hey, we're still connected, even if we can't be side by side. Uh, and I did have a little bit of, oh, did it not? There was something called Pillarteriatism. Probably not getting that right either, but that was what it was called at the time. Each church was a pillar, so like the Catholic Church was a pillar, the Protestants were a pillar. Each one of them had a that's what they called them, and you did not associate outside your pillar. So if you were Catholic, all your friends were Catholic. You married Catholic. Same for Protestant. That's just how it went. So that was the difference. I think I made a note of that, but I must not have put it in my printed notes. But yep. So here they are, and I'll show you some photos of them. And that is her side with the hydrangea. And another one. I borrowed these off Find a Grave. I'll put a link to theirs. Here's a little bit more of a close up. And now you can see here. So her side is over here on the right. Because if you look at the arm out ooh, I wonder if his arm broke off at one time. That looks like it's been repaired right there. But the arm reaching out from the Protestant side, you can see that it's a man's arm, like it's a like a suit jacket and his wrist there. But here you can see her coat of arms and his are up at the top here, but then there's also right, there's our memento mori. And there it is a little bit closer. and there they are close up. So you can say they're not like the hands aren't clasped, but they're just sorta right, they're just holding on to each other. But either way, you can see the detail on the cuff of her sleeve there, you see the little scalloping. It looks like I don't know if those are like little buttons on there. They're very pretty. And that was it for Jacobus and Josephina. So that one was from Ernie. I could have showed you, but I think the photos are better because I think people just put the photos together in a video. And I thought this was a little, oh, it looked better to me. So um, Tiff says if the roles were swapped, she would have been his concubine. Maybe because her family was the one with well, I don't think his family he had a coat of arms. He had a very distinguished career, military career, so, uh, I mean, really the only thing that was probably of a difference was that I mean, he wasn't noble, wasn't nobility, but, seems like they lived a pretty good life despite, not quite marrying outside their faith, but I still think it's a very sweet story. Um, and Sassy says, is that where they got the phrase significant other sign if I can significant other? Yeah, you don't want to say like, yeah, my wife is Catholic and I'm yeah. It's just so weird how right like I don't know when they, stopped doing that in the Netherlands. I should have looked that up, but I didn't. Um, but it's no longer a thing in the Netherlands anymore. So I think the families had petitioned for a very long time to get them to be buried next to each other. But um, so maybe it did finally happen. I just couldn't find anything that said that they did for sure. So I didn't want to say they did, even though AI told me they had been, and I'm like, I'm not gonna believe you until I see something. Um, Tips like, I've never been accused of being romantic. Shocking, I know. I'm not either. I don't rarely get that. Unless it's like, I don't know. This is romantic though. It's very sweet. I'm sure the church didn't approve. They wouldn't want to encourage that. Um, if you, maybe I should have brought a video for you guys, but they do like, this is the back wall of both of these cemeteries, so the churches were probably like, "Well, who's gonna see it back there?" So they probably didn't even like, it just didn't bother the churches too terribly much, but it's still beautiful. I think it's very sweet that they did this. Their family followed through on both of their parents' wishes. I don't think this is gonna work for Fred and Norma, though, unfortunately, for Fearless and Chicky because, um, I don't see how I don't that'd be a pretty long arms if they're gonna put him in another cemetery from her, but, yep, so that is, Josephina and Jacobus, and, yeah, that is I think this is probably the most iconic grave lovers' graves. I mean, if you look up most iconic, this is one of the first ones that pop up after the guy holding his wife's face. I think these are far this story is at least provable. I did go and look on Ancestry. I went and looked up Jacobus. He really did serve in the military in the Netherlands, and yeah, like I said, he did have a distinguished career, so I validated at least that much, but I couldn't find much on her though, so kinda wondering about that nobility of her I'm just kidding. I'm sure she was of noble family, but yeah, it is, every time I see this one, like, I don't know, it'd make a cool tattoo. I don't know, and I don't get mushy, right, guys? But I think that would be kind of a cool tattoo if you were gonna get one, but yeah, so, Rubicon, I shared your story that you sent me to, so and I connected it here with, poor Jacobus, and I mean, at least they only have a stone wall that separated them. Poor Fred and Norma are I don't know what they're gonna do. I hope they figure it out pretty soon. I'm gonna keep up on it and keep checking, but I have one last one here because hey, I have to laugh. I'm not big on love, but I found this headstone. I gotta pop the comments off for just a second so that I can read it. Um, and this is the words. Blah. All right, hang on. I gotta. And no, her family did not disown her. Because they chose to raise the children Catholic, they were able to inherit through their mother's family, and that would have been the reason for them to choose raising the children in the Catholic faith versus the Protestant faith. Because if it would have been his family with the established roots, because remember he was born in Amsterdam, he moved to her town, and her family was established in that town. So if it probably would have been flip-flopped, they would have chosen it the other way around. Now, my grandmother that I was just telling you about with her German family, they were Lutheran, and my great grandpa, um, her father was Catholic. He married my great grandma. She was Lutheran. He did not convert, and she did not convert. They were married at home, so they didn't have a church wedding. They were married at home from her parents' home. And I do believe it was I think it was the Lutheran pastor, though, that did perform their ceremony, but still. And the only stipulation he had at the time, and this would have been a 1920s, yeah, 1920s, I think they were married, 1918-ish, and his only stipulation was, well, if they had a boy, so if he'd had a son, he'd want his son to be Catholic, but she could choose to do with the girls whatever she wanted to. And they had 4 girls. So that's what you get. And they were all raised Lutheran. So yeah, if they would have had a boy, if my grandma would have been a boy, she would have been yeah, uh she would have been Catholic. So, I think and they were not nobility. They just, they just really loved each other though, despite the fact that, right, they came from 2 different religious affiliations, and he wasn't gonna convert and she wasn't gonna convert, but they still loved each other, and they still had a very long, loving marriage, and oh my gosh, sometime I'll have to talk about their thing too, because she went to nanny for a while in Chicago when they were first engaged, because you know how they did engagements back then, like, it took forever to get married and stuff. Like, I don't know how people even I mean, they really had to be in it, but she went to nanny for a couple for a year I think it was in Chicago, and he wrote her all these letters and sent her these postcards and drew her pictures and took photos, like, down at the beach with a heart with their names in it. Shit, I don't know what happened to me. I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that mushy love stuff, but my great grandpa had it, like, he loved I had yeah, he loved my great grandma. So yeah, I always think of them and I just think it's the sweetest thing. But this is more realistic. This is the world's shortest fairy tale. And once upon a time, there was a guy who asked a girl, "Will you marry me?" The girl said no. And the guy lived happily ever after and went boating, fishing, hunting. He smoked pot and drank beer whenever he wanted. The end. And I think I tried to see if this was AI, but I don't think it was. I think this is, yeah, I think this is real, and I love it. Actually, it might be either Claude or James because 'cause they're brothers, so it might be one of them, but yeah, I was trying to find them and, find a grave, but I'll look into it, but even if it's not real, I like it, and it's real enough for me right now. Sassy says, "No disrespect to Catholics, but it's their rules that forbid a Catholic and Protestant being together. And on that note, I'll go to bed. Good night, Sassy. Thanks for coming. But at that time, it was both in the Netherlands. It was both the Catholics and the Protestants that were really being. They were both very strict with each other. And good night, guys. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Sorry, I went over. I was just planning on doing like an hour and a half, but then yeah, you know how I get with squirrels. And yeah, that was a big deal back then. But like I said, from both sides, and it was even a little weird for my grandparents, my great grandparents, when they married in 1920. But they made that decision too, like before they got married. Like, okay, if we have sons, they'll be Catholic, and if what you could do whatever you want with the girls, which I always find hilarious because yeah, you know how girls are expendable, right? But then he had 4 girls, so I guess we shouldn't maybe he should have been like, "All right, the first one's Catholic, the second one." But, I don't think even my great grandpa went to church after, 'cause there he might have. I don't know, I can't remember. I'll have to look and see, but, um and my family had a difficult time getting my nephew baptized at a Catholic, as Catholic because we're Protestant. But it depends on where you go to because, my brother married, a he married a Catholic girl, Italian girl, and he just had to they were married in a church, big, huge Catholic church in Chicago, and she all he had to do was prove he was baptized. That's all they cared about at that one. So, I think it kinda depends on where you go, maybe what diocese, yeah. But, yeah, most of the, but, I've had some people I'm Catholic, so I've had some Lutherans turn their nose up at me being Catholic. So, yeah, I think yeah, it's people are weird about religion's one of those things. Religion, sports, and, makeup and true crime are 4 things you should never talk about on a stream. And I've just broke a rule by talking about religion, but Sassy's I'm Lutheran. My grandma my son is Catholic, but guess he was baptized in a Lutheran church because that's where my grandmother asked if he could be, and then that's what we did. So, yeah. Um, but you make we can do these things a lot easier now than we could have ever have done. Jacobus and Josephina, yeah, they didn't have that. Um, remarkably well. They managed it, that they could still but that just means that they loved each other because I it seems to me that if they didn't love each other quite so much, it wouldn't have been worth it. They would have just been like, you know what? I'm just gonna go find me a Protestant girl," and she's like, "Hey, there's this guy that my parents picked out for me. He's not so bad, and I don't have to make any" right? Like, I don't have to deal with all this stuff. We can be buried together. Like, I don't have to be buried separately from him, so I wonder if they ever got into fights and that's what she'd say to him, like, "Hey, you know what I gave up for you?" Or the opposite. I think that would be kind of funny. I could see those arguments going on, but anyway, or maybe he was just so happy he had a noble wife, he just didn't care. It could have been a reason too. And Rubicon says, "Half of one side of my family is Catholic, the other half is Lutheran, heard these conversations a lot." Yeah, that's my family, and they find it funny when I'm just like, "Well, you guys might as well be Catholic," and yeah, it gets stirred it stirs stuff up. I think it's fun. But I don't feel out of place when I go when I go to the Lutheran church. Like, I don't feel out of place. It feels very much just like I'm at, yeah, at the Catholic church, so it doesn't feel any different. So, it's very similar, like, we just do a lot of the they do a lot of the same things, so, yeah. I still get looked at weird, but hey, I'm the redheaded stepchild, I can do whatever the heck I want to. What would be funnier is if he was buried next to the girl he actually the the fairy tale, yeah, that would be like he died a millionaire and what's the Toby Keith song? How do you like me now? Like, you could put that on there. How do you like me now? Like, you said no, but hey, look at all the fun I had. Um, I could smoke pot and drink beer whenever I wanted to. That popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, I don't check Facebook very often, but that popped up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the way I'm finishing out my love stories tonight. Is because gotta have some real. It's got to be some kind of realistic. Sassy says, "Nice to see you, Rubicon. I'm laying down. Good night, Sassy. Thanks for coming on. I've missed you." We got a lot to catch up on. I gotta have some sassy talk here soon because I just don't. I'm so busy, so busy. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Is there any place anybody needs to go? I don't think I have. What's going on here? Let me look. Did I see a? Did OB is OB live? Does anybody want me to redirect there? Yeah, she is. You guys want me to try to redirect you? You can try it. I don't know. I probably can't. Actually, yeah, I don't even really know where to go. Is it in my setting up here? Maybe. Maybe? Boop, boop. Yeah, never mind. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to look. But yeah, yeah, Sassy, get a hold of me. Well, I see you messaged me, so I'll hit you up. All right, guys. I'm gonna head over to OB's too because I want to. I don't know. I want to see what's going on. And then I'm gonna go to sleep because I am still itchy. I gotta take some Benadryl. So yeah. So thank you guys. Go to studio. Ah, see. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try it, guys. All right. Jeff, you gotta talk me through it. Hang on. All right. I go to studio. Hang on. Oh, I'm gonna mess something up, guys. You know I am. All right. Studio. And it's going. And yeah. See, I look at the stuff and I know what I'm doing. All right. Settings. All right. Hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Either that or my laptop's gonna crash. That might be it. It might crash. Um. All right. I'm trying, guys. Let me see. Why is it moving so slow? Oh, it's taking forever. All right. Well, I was gonna try, but it's taking forever. All right. All right. I'll try some other time. I think customization. All right. Urgh. I'm looking. Why does everybody make this look so easy? Ah, all right. Um, uh-oh. Are you coming over? You gonna come say hi? She walks over here like she's gonna. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Just, oh, I don't know what I just did. I think I broke something. Come here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hang on, hang on. Oh, oh, I might be close. I just saw something that said redirect. Hang on. Oh, I will edit this out later. Maybe not. Okay. All right. I'll try it again some other time when I know what I'm doing. But all right, I love you guys. I'll see you on Sunday night. I was gonna try to do a mass redirect and do a raid on OB, but I'll just go over there instead. I'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you loved all the love junk. Um, I promise I won't do too many of these, but it seemed like we needed one of these. I mean, it is getting almost close to that one day of the year, but yeah, guys, I'll see you Sunday night. I'm gonna think up some more. We'll do the ghost thingy again so that you guys can earn some more points, and I'll get something in New Orleans to bring back to you guys. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. Oh wait, nah, no cleanse tonight. We didn't do anything nasty, so I don't think we need to be cleansed. So, well, maybe we that one person was in here though. Here we're good. We're good. All right, I'll see you guys Sunday night. Thanks.